everybody. Welcome back to the Caffeinated Christian Podcast. This is our final episode in our special series, What is Truth? And today, the three of us, we're going to be recapping some of the things that have resonated with us most in this series. We're going to take about 10, 15 minutes or so and download some thoughts with you guys. Hope you'll join us. Hey guys, what in this episode, what in these series of episodes was most impactful to you guys? Where was their resonance with you?
Yeah, I can go first on that one. Mm-hmm. So I want to point two things that really stuck with me. And the first one is almost like a heuristic look at truth. And what I mean by that is the cost of holding to a relativistic worldview. And I think some of the defeaters and some of the objections that we discussed during the second week of the series, Truth and Relativism, that if you're willing to subscribe to some of these relativistic views, the cost you have to eat, I should say,
I got you,
in order to hold to that view, in my book, is very immense. And what's interesting is two things. One, those who are intellectually honest and those who are willing to interest me, especially if they're not ignorant of the fact, right? And then two is the fact that a lot of people are ignorant. And I don't mean that in like I'm making fun of you. I'm just saying in a lack of knowledge type of way,
right,
that they use sort of a relativistic worldview to socially benefit them in a social or pragmatic way.
Right.
And are unaware of what that philosophically does to the coherence of their worldview. And what's so fascinating to me when leading this was how often people don't try to reason that out to its conclusion. Mm-hmm. And so that what really stuck out to me, the cost someone's willing to take to hold to this type of view for like personal gains.
Right.
And then secondly, the second point I wanted to make was how affected our mental health is when it comes to our theory of truth we hold.
Right.
And what I find so interesting is the fact that we can see and we know, and just what my brother shared, we have the data to show that certain kinds of worldviews, unfortunately, bring in or affect, however you want to put it, the mental health of those who hold to it. And it's a devastating thing. And unfortunately, the topic within mental health and the worldview that sort of makes the assumption that's you hold to this assumption of what the person worldview is never really is discussed within the public sphere.
Yeah.
It's always like, what did you do to affect their mental health, or what did they never really get to what I think the underlying basis is, what sort of assumption they hold when they're looking at truth and how they examine the world.
Yeah.
And I think that needs to be brought up within the public sphere, and I just don't think it is.
Yeah, and for me, it comes back to this very real principle that ideas have consequences.
Yes.
The worldviews we hold matter deeply. And for me, on a personal level, what's been impactful is it's caused me to actually kind of sit back and ask myself, like, when I'm about to make a decision, when I'm about to do something, say I'm about to open my mouth and say something that I would later regret to my wife or my daughter, right? I'm actually taking stock of, all right, what's going on in my head right now? What are my thoughts? Like paying attention to what's going on right now. And then before I act, before I do something, I'm actually conscious of what I'm thinking. What is it in me that's driving me to, just do the things that I'm doing?
Right.
Right. So it's caused me to be a little bit more cognizant of how I go about my daily life. So that's been helpful for me. That's been impactful for me. But more specifically, I think, and this is the reason why I led these two episodes on marriage and family. I've, in the episodes, I won't rehash it, but I've laid out the data for how marriages are doing in our country and how family, specifically children, are doing in our country. And it's not great. And all statistics aside, speaking from a pastoral perspective, we've seen marriages within our church that we thought were, kind of good, kind of healthy. And this is not just our church. This is just, I communicate with pastors all over.
Right.
Pastors who think that people were solid in their marriage, or just even solid in their faith in general. Turns out they weren't. Turns out that they weren't even sure that they were saved. Right? So there's this whole worldview issue that's impacting everything else. It's impacting their relationship with their husband or wife. It's impacting how they lead their family with their children. So it's really about now getting back to the basics of, what do I hold to as truth? Do I really believe, like Jesus' words in John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, the life. Like, Jesus is this hinge point of all reality. That's who he is. And do I believe that? And do I believe that salvation is only through him? Because when you peel back the layers in people's lives, you find that they might give lip service to Jesus, but when you examine the details of their lives are not synced up with it. Right. And it's impacting marriages and it's impacting families. So it's been good to parse this out, and I hope that it was a benefit to the people who listen to it.
Yeah. What about you, Bradley?
Yeah, so just a little background here. I was the one that came up with the idea for the series, not to boast.
All credit goes to Bradley.
Yeah.
I'll
Turn off
boast
his
about
mic.
Bradley.
Turn off his mic.
I control the mics. I'll turn off yours.
It's true.
We can still throw stuff at you, Bradley.
Yeah.
This is true. Not the coffee mic, please.
The mug. I've got the mug right here.
When I first came up with this idea to do the What is Truth series, the original idea was just to do a What is Truth episode, because I noticed that it seemed like with all the issues in the world, truth was kind of like the main centerpiece one. And when we sat down to look at the episodes for the series, we laid down all the episodes that you got to listen to, hopefully. And if you don't, you can go back and listen to some of them. But one of the things that I was looking at when we were laying that down was these topics don't seem connected at all. I mean, maybe the marriage and family one was connected, and then maybe you got tolerance or relativism that kind of like branch over to each other. But how each one of these episodes, while they remain with the theme of truth, each topic connects to each other in a way that I didn't think was going to work as well as it did. And we were talking about the mental health episode just a minute ago, and that episode, like, marriage is affected by mental health. Everything branches off of that, but the underlying theme is that truth affects every other topic that is there. And I mean, there's plenty of more topics that we could have delved into that are all affected by truth.
Right.
And I think that one of the big things that we're struggling with in the church today, and one of the big things we're struggling with in the world today, is just a lack of truth and knowing what that is. And so I'm happy that we were able to break that down and be able to see, and hopefully you were able to see as well, that truth is a binder to everything that we live through.
Right. Is there a topic that really resonated with you the most, or a certain fact? Or
Yeah, I really enjoyed the mental health episode.
Mental
Actually,
health,
you took my second one.
Oh,
Yeah, I really quite enjoyed the mental health episode. I'm not very familiar with that area, and your brother did a fantastic
yeah,
job
he did a really good
explaining
job.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of our longer episodes of the series too, and I think you could probably tell why. It was that good. It was informational, but it wasn't like over the top informational. Very detailed as well.
Yeah, I really enjoyed, and I was just Ryan and I. That Ryan was actually only there for part of this episode. I was there for the entirety of it.
The first half, yeah.
Yeah, I think you had a funeral to go to or something, but it was such a joy to be able to talk with Jay Kim and get his thoughts and insights about what he's seeing in how the digital landscape that we inhabit. Unfortunately, it's the most of the waking hours of our day.
Right.
How that's impacting our spirituality. If you haven't read it yet, I would highly recommend the book Analog Christian. It's a great book, and it teaches us how to live with wisdom and resilience in an age where those things are increasingly rare.
Right.
And I think that's what a lot of people need more of today. But this idea of truth, it all starts there. If we don't have a steady anchor of truth to go back to, we're not going to have those things. Coming back to what Bradley was saying.
Yeah, it's like building your house on the rock versus the sand, you know.
Exactly.
Right.
I think somebody had something to say about that.
Maybe.
Yeah, one of the other things that stuck out with me was the topic of the tolerance and how it kind of blended in with what I'm doing with school, and how what I found interesting was the fact that a lot of people believe things to be true, but for the sake of tolerance, they won't act upon their truth, or they won't stand firm in what they believe in an outward way because of this idea of tolerance. And you see not just the fact that like truth undergirds all of these other topics that we discussed, but there's pressure coming from all these other topics that are causing even Christians, even the church, to not take a stand for what they believe and be missions in this world.
Right.
And it's one thing to have a correct worldview in relation to what truth is. It's another thing how willing you are with the weight of everything else to stand up for that belief.
Right.
And I want to encourage all of our listeners that there's sources out there. There's people that stand with you. You're not alone in this. And it's, I believe Mike and I were talking about this the other day on the phone. It's okay if the world often doesn't like you.
Yeah. Actually, Paul says we should expect it.
We should expect it.
Yep.
And that's a tough thing to hear in this sort of social media age, right? We want these likes, we want these followers. It's okay, because as Christ says, that you're not building up your notoriety here. You want to build it up in heaven. That if you reject him here, as he stands before the Father, he will also, I don't know you. And so if we believe what we believe, and there's an eternal truth to the significance of what we're doing and saying and how we live here, we should have confidence in the fact of this truth, which then should burst forth through these other topics that we talked about in the series.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I wanted to add to that too. I think that the tolerance episode was a great discussion. And I think just kind of branching off what you said there too, our goal as Christians isn't necessarily to be liked. Also, the truth isn't necessarily nice sometimes. It's not the thing that you want to hear all the time. It's not the thing that, it's not the fluffiest of pillows all the time. Sometimes it's a bag of rocks that hits you in the face. And I think that there needs to be an effort to not necessarily pursue to be mean necessarily, but we shouldn't be, as Christians, we shouldn't be nice in order to tolerate other people. The truth should be our primary objective, and the truth is Jesus Christ.
Absolutely. Yeah, and coming back to that whole idea too, I think it's important that we consider not just how we're presenting the truth claims that we hold to as believers. It's also important to really consider how we're presenting those things. So hopefully, in this time, we've been able to give you as listeners helpful information to be better equipped to minister to those who perhaps hold a different worldview than you do, right? And to be able to ask those questions of them that maybe you haven't thought to ask.
Absolutely.
And and to be honest, we're talking about what was most impactful for us, what resonated most with us. I would love, listeners, if you want to get in touch with us via Facebook or Instagram, let us know what your thoughts are. What was most impactful to you guys? Because we want to hear from you. We don't want to just throw this out into the void. We know people are listening. We would love to just know, what is God doing in you and through you through the material that we're providing him.
I mean, even if there's something that we only touched on that you'd like to hear more of, we'd love to have some of the guests that we had on, or just break down that idea a little bit more. I mean, we'd even like to do another series on what is truth, if that's what you would like to hear. So please reach out to us. We do actually read everything.
We do. And
except the email.
And we don't read email. Don't send us emails. Yeah. If you don't want us to respond to you, send us an email.
Exactly.
Yeah, just anybody who says anything critical about us, just send us an email.
Yeah.
So that's our
and we do have some more special series coming up. They might be some shorter, some longer through the following months, and in years, and we're gonna get back to our original format when we do Not in Series, right, Bradley?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
There's going to be some more original episodes coming out.
Yeah, we got some more coffee coming your way.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry. Even though we haven't announced the coffee during the series, we can better believe that we are actually drinking it as we record it.
Oh, for
so
sure.
we did not lose touch to our
roots.
Our roots. Exactly.
Yes.
What do you say, guys? Do you want to hear the intro music one last time?
One last time.
Sounds good. All right, guys, thank you for joining us for this special series of What is Truth in the Caffeinated Christian podcast. Guys, be sure to like and subscribe wherever it is you get your podcast. Be sure to share this with your friends. Let them know about this. And we can't wait to see you on the regular show. See you then.